Well, hello, my friends. I am so happy to see you. I am Mr. Twisty. Hey, I have a joke I've been anxious to share with you. What do you call a fish who loves to tell jokes? A clownfish. And what kind of fish is the most famous? A starfish. I have so much fun planned for us today. A great story, a trip to Via Aquarium. Stick around, won't you?
Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventures. Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventures. Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventures. Here comes Mr. Twisty.
I am so glad you're here. Welcome back to my magical treehouse. It's a place full of laughter, fun, and maybe even a surprise or two. Are you ready for an adventure? Oh, good. I am so glad. Let's get started. One of my favorite things to do is to tell dad jokes. I have 3 for you today. Okay. Number 1, why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper makes them sneeze. I love that one. Isn't that silly and fun at the same time? Here's something to think about. Jokes are more fun when we don't explain them. So for the rest of the show, I want you to see how many jokes you can figure out. Think about them and think funny. Do you like to think funny? Oh no, I feel some more silly coming on. Number 2, what do you call a crab that never shares? Shellfish. Okay, here comes number 3. How do shellfish take photos? With a camera. Did those jokes make you giggle and groan? They did? Oh, good. I'm glad. I just love dad jokes. But I have a show to do. Coming up, today's story, The Fish and His Puffy Temper by Barbara Pinke. Please stick around after today's story. I have something so exciting planned and I can't wait to share it with you. Wait, what? You see Auntie Twirly's symbol on the magic easel? Oh, today just keeps getting better and better and better. Abracadabra, abracaswirly, won't you join us, Auntie Twirly?
Hi, Mr. Twisty. I heard you were about to read a story about a pufferfish, and I didn't want to miss that.
Well, I am always glad to see you. But wait, you usually show up in a funny costume. What happened?
I'm a clown.
Yes.
What do you give a sick fish? Vitamin C. Let me shake my wiggles out. Now I am ready for the story.
Today's story, The Fish and His Puffy Temper by Barbara Pinke.
It was Puffy's special day. He had decided he wouldn't be angry with the other fish and he hoped to make friends. He hurried over to the coral slide in the playground excited, but there was a queue. Puffy puffed up, shouting angrily, "Why do I have to wait?" Frightened, the other fish swam away. Puffy slid down the slide. It didn't feel good alone. A seahorse was watching him and slowly swam over. "Hello, I'm Cece. Who are you?" "Leave me alone," Puffy grumbled and swam away. But Cece didn't give up. She watched the balled-up fish calm down. When Puffy returned to his original size, she swam over. "Can I sit with you?" "Why?" Puffy asked, surprised. "What happened?" Cece asks. "This always happens when I'm angry. I lose my temper, turn into a ball, and everyone swims away." "Why do you get angry?" "Things happen that I dislike." "Can you try not to let them make you angry?" "It never works." "What's your name?" The seahorse smiled. "Puffy," he whispered, looking at Cece. "Puffy, the other fish swim away because they're scared of your anger." "I know." But how do I control it? I want friends, but I get angry so easily. I'll help, Zizi declared. Let's visit Miss Carcradon. Puffy felt grateful. No one had tried to help him before. When they arrived at Miss Carcradon's, the shark was looking at the plants by her house and painting them on a canvas. Tiny fish played with the leaves. Hello, Miss Carcradon. These are beautiful, Zizi exclaimed. Thank you, said the shark. Oh, go away, you cheeky fish. Find another lunch. She smiled, shooing them away. How can you be patient when those fish were getting in the way of your painting, Zizi asked. Puffy lifted his head at her question. I pay attention to my feelings. When I notice my anger signs, I try to calm myself down so I don't get angry, Miss Carcradon explained. What are your anger signs? Puffy asked shyly. My heart beats faster. How do you feel when your anger starts? I don't know, Puffy shrugged. Think about it, the shark asked the fish firmly. I don't know, Puffy shouted, then paused. Oh, right now, I'm feeling angry. My heart's beating fast, I'm hot, and breathing faster. Miss Carcradon smiled. Next time you recognize those, congratulate yourself. Just spotting the signs can help you stop feeling angry. I will remember. Thank you. Zizi and Puffy returned to the playground, but the other fish still didn't want to play with Puffy. He puffed up right away. You forgot to think about your feelings, Zizi reminded him. Let's visit my uncle and see if he can help. He has many baby seahorses. Chaos reigns there for sure. Puffy liked the idea and calmed down again. They heard the family as they arrived. The ocean was filled with laughter from little seahorses, but then there was a crash. Enough! Everybody out! Uncle Whiny, the seahorse shouted. 30 little seahorses streamed outside, laughing and frolicking. Hello, Uncle, Zizi greeted him. Is everything okay? Uncle Whiny appeared in the doorway. Yeah, hi, Zizi. I'm fine. These rascals were jumping around and broke my favorite glass, Uncle said with a sad smile. Then his face brightened. I'm glad to see you. Who's your friend? Puffy blushed. He's Puffy. We met at the playground. Zizi introduced him. Nice to meet you, Uncle Whiny. Your little seahorses are adorable, Puffy waved. Oh, yes, I love these little mischief makers. Puffy was surprised. He'd expected complaints, but he only saw happiness on his face. How can you stay calm when they've broken your favorite glass? Puffy asked. I count to 10 slowly. It helps me let go of my anger, the seahorse dad explained. Interesting, Zizi said. We'll go and play now. Bye, Uncle. The two friends swam back to the playground. Some fish were playing with a frisbee. Can we join you? Asked Zizi. It went well. Everybody had fun. But then Puffy couldn't catch the frisbee. Why did you throw it so hard? He shouted, puffing up, his face red. The others were so scared they swam away faster than ever. You didn't think about your feelings or count to 10, Zizi reminded Puffy. She had another idea. Let's go visit Mr. Decapota. They found the crab sitting in his garden with his eyes closed, taking deep breaths. Hello, Mr. Decapota. Are you okay? Puffy asked. Smiling, he opened his eyes. Oh, yes, Puffy. I just needed a minute to calm down after an argument. How? When I'm angry, I close my eyes and take deep breaths. I now have 3 tools. I must be able to do it now, Puffy thought excitedly. When they were back at the playground, Puffy wanted to slide, but the queue was too long again. Angry, Puffy blew up so big, everyone rushed away before he had time to shout. Puffy sadly fled home. Mom Fish found him in his room looking at the stars. What's wrong, Puffy? I tried not to get angry, but I still puffed up. Nobody wants to play with me. I get angry too. It's a normal emotion to have, but it's important to learn to cope with it. Mom Fish tried to reassure him. She told him about how she got puffed up and coped with anger. It takes practice, but you can do it. I learned 3 different ways to control my anger, but it still didn't work. What were they? Mom Fish asked. First, notice my anger signs. Second, count to 10 slowly. Third, take deep breaths. They sound like wonderful tools. You'll need to remember to use them. Here, put this band on your fin. When you're about to puff up, flick it and think of me and your 3 steps. This will help you overcome your anger like I overcame mine. Puffy suddenly felt confident. If Mom can do it, I can too. In the morning, he swam so fast to the playground he created lots of bubbles with his fin. Waving to Cece, he went to the slide and waited his turn. Later, Puffy heard the ice cream truck. But when he had finally found it, all the ice cream had gone. Oh no! The other fish swam away in fear. Puffy felt anger inside his body. Noticing the band on his fin, he flicked it, as Mom had suggested, and remembered the 3 steps. Step 1, heart beating fast, feeling hot and breathing faster. He spotted his own anger signs, but his anger was still growing. Step 2, Puffy counted slowly. 1, 2, 3. But his body was still full of anger. Step 3, deep breathing. The small fish concentrated on his breathing. He felt his body relaxing. He wasn't puffing up. His anger had gone. Puffy had done it. The fish returned curious. I'll get ice cream next time, Puffy smiled at the other fish. They smiled back, surprised and relieved. I could share my ice cream with you if you want, said an angelfish. Thank you, said Puffy. You've done it. I'm so proud, shouted Cece, giving him an ice cream. I saved one for you just in case. Thank you for helping and being my friend, he grinned. Puffy was happy. He had learned to manage his temper. He now had friends and wouldn't play alone in the playground again.
After reading that story, I thought it would be so much fun to meet a real, live pufferfish. So I'm going to call my friend at Via Aquarium and see if we can set up a visit. Would you like to meet a real live pufferfish? You would? Great! This is going to be so much fun. Do you know what other animals live at the aquarium? Think about that for just a minute. We'll go shortly. Let me get this all arranged, and while I do, check this out.
Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventure is brought to you by Birthday Buddy, the magical birthday countdown companion, like Elf on a Shelf, but making birthdays magical. For more information, visit MrTwisty.com.
Have you ever been to the aquarium? Well, today, thanks to Tom, we can go for a visit. Together today, we're going on an adventure to meet a real live pufferfish like in the story. My friend Tom runs the incredible Via Aquarium in Rotterdam, New York, and he invited us to visit and explore all the amazing underwater creatures.
Mr. Twisty, I can't go. I have to go home and exercise my fish. But before I do you know why fish swim in schools?
Because they can't walk. What's a shark's favorite sandwich?
Peanut butter and jellyfish. Okay, I really do need to go now. Have fun at the aquarium. See you really soon. Hello.
Olay, Auntie Twirly, see you real soon. All right, friends, ready to go? Abracadabra, abracanecessarium, let's all go to Via Aquarium.
We made it! Oh, The Via Aquarium is filled with incredible sea creatures and I can't wait to explore. Tom is here to show us around and he promised we'd see some of the most fascinating underwater animals, including the famous pufferfish from today's story. Let's go meet Tom, who's going to guide us on this awesome adventure together. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, how about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited. We are at Via Aquarium at ViaPort in Rotterdam. This is awesome. It's so nice to meet you. You're
well.
Tom, and you are the big cheese, right?
Well, around here, the big fish.
The big fish. That makes
Right.
a lot more sense. Well, as cool as this is, I think all the cool stuff is inside.
Absolutely.
We should probably dive in.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. Our first stop is with the carp. Did you know that carp are one of the most popular fish in the world? Let's feed them and see what happens.
Whoa, feeding the carp is so much fun and a little slimy. Do you know that carp are really smart? They can recognize people who feed them. Maybe they'll remember me next time.
Now that we've had some fun with the carp, let's keep moving. Next stop, Stingray Bay. Oh, wow. Are those jellyfish? Wait, let's stop and take a look. Wow, Tom, this is so cool. I think I recognize these as jellyfish.
Yep, you're right.
So tell me about this.
So these are our moon jellies.
Moon jellies.
Moon jellies, yep. One of the really cool things about these moon jellies in particular is that they were actually given to us by a school, Berlin High School. In their aquatic science program, the high school students get to raise different animals from like seeds or babies, however they come, and then they grow them out, and at the end of the school year they do a project and they get donated here to the aquarium.
That is so cool. So this was a school project for high school kids.
Yes, absolutely.
And so what do baby jellyfish look like?
We don't have any in here, but they look like little polyps. So they look almost like little plants growing.
Really?
Yep, they go through multiple stages of growth. So this is the adult version.
And so how old are these?
Some of these are only less than a year old, and a couple of them are a little over 2.
Well, how do they eat?
They have nematocysts. So the tentacles.
Nematocysts?
Nematocysts, very good. So they have the tentacles that come off their body are covered in nematocysts, and when something brushes up against it, they fire and they release a toxin that then they are able to pull the animal into and they'll digest it in the middle there.
And I like to say nematocysts.
Yeah, it's a fun word.
That is a fun word.
I wonder if
your
your friends-
word for the day, my friends, nematocysts. Look that up on the dictionary.
Here's what I have learned about jellyfish. They are actually not jelly, nor are they fish. They are 95% or almost all water. And get this, they don't have brains. And because they don't have brains, they are not actually fish. Did you know jellyfish have been around for 500 million years? They've seen it all. Volcanoes, dinosaurs, you name it. They just float around like squishy, glowing ghosts.
Okay, now we're really heading to Stingray Bay. Oh, Tom, this is cool. Stingrays, I see. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so this is our Stingray Bay in Discovery Cove. We've got 2 different types of stingrays. We have the cow nose rays, which are the smaller ones. They're a little more triangular on their wings. And then we have our southern stingray, Priscilla, who likes to perform, and she'll probably come over and check us out in a few minutes. And then we also have a couple of bamboo sharks. And you can see one of
Bamboo
them.
sharks?
Yep. You can see one of them right below us here. They kind of just like to hang around the bottom.
Do the stingrays and the sharks get along together?
They do. And one of the ways that we make sure that everyone gets along is we keep everybody well fed. So I actually have a cup of food here right now. So if we can try and
What
feed
are we
them.
going to feed them?
So we have little silverside fish, and then we also have some shrimp, and it looks like maybe some cod today.
Hey, Priscilla, wanna be on YouTube?
She's our star, so she'll come back over.
She'll come back. Oh, I know how stars are. And can I touch them?
Yep, so the easiest way to touch them is to pretend you're going for a high five. And you just put your hand down in the water, and they will usually come right up to you because they really enjoy the attention. See?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Really?
hi. Oh, you like to be on the show.
Yeah, they're really excited to have guests.
Oh, and I'm really excited to meet you. High five! High five! High five! Maybe I should be doing high two. They don't have 5 fingers.
They don't have any fingers, unfortunately. They just have the wings or their fins.
They are so, and they feel really smooth.
Yeah, these ones are. Wait till Priscilla's coming over, so you might get a chance to feel her too. So the easiest way to feed them is almost like reverse from petting them. You put your hand flat and you put the food in the middle of your fingers like that, and then they're gonna swim over, and they use suction, so they'll suction it right out of your hand. So we'll just put this down here, and here comes one of my friends now.
Oh my goodness, that was
And
the
that's
most
it.
awesome thing ever. Can I try?
Absolutely. Let me get a piece out for you here. And there you go.
So I take the little piece of fish and put it between my fingers, and they're just gonna swim over and suck it out of my hand?
Yep, and you just hold it loosely, and they'll take it right from you.
I'm gonna make a new. Oh, that was so cool! That was so cool! I love that.
Good job. That was great.
It startled me a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell. But that was so much fun.
Yeah, he came from the other side. Usually they go the one way, but they once they know that someone's feeding them, they're pretty quick to come on over.
Oh, here she comes.
One of our favorite parts.
When I said I was getting ready to go, she didn't want to miss her chance to be in the show. And does she eat the same thing?
She can. We usually feed her separately because she'll take everybody's food, but for today, we can do something special, and you can feed her too.
How many of these would they eat in the course of a day?
They usually will eat, if we're just the shrimps, usually about 4.
About 4. And
yeah.
that's all the food they need for the day?
We will feed them at the very beginning of the day and at the end of the day as well, but guests get these cups to feed them throughout the day too, to kind of help them make it through their lunch period. One way to feed her so you don't have to get too close is you can just put the food on the side of the wall and then slide it down when she comes up to it. And she likes to pop up on the walls kind of like that. When they do it in the open water, it's called spy hopping.
Spy hopping?
Yep, because they're kind of like spying out of the water and making a hopping motion.
Maybe everybody fed her earlier and she's not hungry. Here,
There you
Priscilla. Oh, hi, honey. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you for coming over. All right, well, that made my whole day.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool.
Whoa! They feel like slippery pancakes. They're so friendly. I have made some good stingray friends today. Did you know some stingrays can jump completely out of the water? Oh, all clear. Okay, good.
There's so much to see here, but let's take a quick detour to check out the coral reef.
Did you know coral reefs are like underwater cities? They're home to thousands of creatures working in harmony like clownfish and their best friends sea anemones. Sharks come in for routine dental cleaning and medical care from other fish. Teamwork makes the dream work, even under the sea.
Next up, the sharks. Have you ever seen a shark close up before? I hope they aren't too scary.
Phew! Sharks get a bad rap, but most of them aren't scary at all. Did you know there are over 500 species of sharks? Some are as small as your hand, and others, like the whale shark, are giants that only eat plankton.
That was intense, but now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's meet the pufferfish. Well, here we are. I have enjoyed seeing everything, but the story we read today was about a pufferfish.
Exactly.
And when I reached out to you, what I wanted to know is, what can you tell me about pufferfish, and can I see one? Obviously, I can see one. What can you tell me about the pufferfish?
Well, I can tell you that they have quills on their scales that when they blow up, it's a defense mechanism for them. So in the book, they talked about them blowing up, and you can see how they lay flat when they're not exposed. But when she gets nervous or upset, or even sometimes when she just wants to stretch, almost like doing yoga, she'll blow up to,
Fish do yoga?
Fish will like to stretch. They got to make sure that they're still healthy. So she'll blow up to the size of like a beach ball, and those quills will then start sticking out straight as a way to protect herself from other animals or predators.
Well, I'm kind of glad she's not puffed out, because that means she's comfortable with the two of us standing here.
Exactly. Her name is Mrs. Puff.
Mrs. Puff?
Mrs. Puff. And she's one of the favorite animals of the people that visit here.
Well, hello, favorite animal of people who visit ViaPort Aquarium. This is awesome. Doesn't it look like she's waving to you? She's saying, hello, friends. Where are they from? Where in the world would I find a pufferfish?
So they live in the reef areas. So this pufferfish is in our Great Barrier Reef exhibit. So you would find some of these like in Australia, over on that side of the world.
Way down under.
Way down. But there are different forms of pufferfish and porcupine fish all across the world. There's even some that can be found in freshwater and brackish water, like mangrove areas, where the freshwater meets saltwater.
A mangrove is where freshwater meets saltwater?
A lot of mangrove forests, they thrive in that sort of environment. So a mangrove is a type of tree, and the roots come down into the water, so it creates nice little habitats for smaller fish to hide.
And so what does our pufferfish eat?
Our pufferfish gets fed clams. And to keep her happy and healthy, we actually give her the entire clam, shell and all. And she has some pretty sharp teeth in her beak that she can use to crack open the clam shells and then get the meat inside. So a lot of times, if you look at the bottom of the exhibit, you can find pieces of the shells that she has discarded after eating her lunch.
Does she just eat the meat, or does she eat some of the shell?
Some of the shell gets in there as well, and their systems are designed to be able to pass those through, because they're not able to digest it like they can the meat.
She doesn't seem to mind the other fish being by her, and the other fish don't seem to mind her. Do they all get along?
For the most part, and like we were saying with the stingrays, one of the easiest ways to keep them all happy and occupied is to keep them well fed, because it's much easier to be fed your food than to have to go find it. So in an aquarium setting, they're able to be hand-fed, and that way they don't have to use the energy to go looking for food, and so they tend to cohabitate a little bit better.
I bet on Friday nights they all get together and play cards. I'm guessing Go Fish.
It's very possible. Who knows what happens after we turn the lights off?
What do you think the pufferfish voice would sound like?
I always imagine when she's like this, probably kind of high-pitched, like, hi friends, how you doing? And then when she blows up like a big balloon, probably get a little bit deeper at that point.
Hi friends, how you doing?
Exactly.
How old is this pufferfish?
We're not sure, because we got her from another aquarium. So we really don't know. We think maybe 12 to 15 years old.
12 to 15 years old. And how long can a pufferfish live?
In captivity, they can usually live up to 30 years.
30 years?
At least
that's a long time.
Yeah.
I just saw a fish swimming by here that has a horn. It looks like a unicorn fish.
Yep, it's actually called a unicorn tang. And it's named for that specific appendage.
These sharks are really cool too. I know we came to talk about the pufferfish, and I've been so excited to meet a pufferfish after reading our story. But these other fish are really wild, and these sharks are so cool.
Yeah, in this exhibit we have two different types of sharks. They're both reef sharks. One is a black tip reef shark, and one is a white tip reef shark. And the black tip reef sharks are the only sharks that we have that have to swim consistently to be able to breathe.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
365 days a year. And there's one of them right now. That's one of our males. A lot of our other sharks have the ability to breathe without swimming. So if you have to swim to breathe, it's called ram ventilation because they need the water to ram through their mouth and over their gills.
Ventilation.
Exactly.
So they move and the water goes, they're moving through the water and the water goes into their mouth?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, here she is. It looks like she's trying to say hello to us.
Yeah, here she comes.
Well, hello, Puff, Miss Puff. Look at how pretty you are.
She's coming to
I'm
say
so
hello.
happy you came to meet my friends today. We just read a story all about you.
When she opens her mouth, you can see the teeth that she uses to open the clamshells.
Will you come say hi again? And now she's going back to her resting position. Well, thank you. That was very nice of you, Mrs. Puff. Or Miss Puff, I don't know.
I think she's fine with either.
Okay, either.
Did you know pufferfish can inflate to almost 3 times their size when they feel threatened? It's their way of saying, I'm bigger than I look. And some pufferfish are covered in spikes, like a cactus that can puff up.
Well, I don't like to say goodbye, and I've had so much fun, I really don't want to leave. So today, let's just say hello in reverse.
Wow! That was so much fun! I want to make you the most wonderful balloon creation, something special just for you. What kind of animal do you think we should make to celebrate today? We met so many cool fish at the aquarium. What? What should we make? Oh, that's a great idea. Let's make a pufferfish. Thank you, my friends, for joining me today for another Mr. Twisty Storytime Adventures. I had so much fun. I love The Fish and His Puffy Temper by my friend Barbara. Remember to check it out in the description below. I really super-duper loved our visit to Via Aquarium at ViaPort in Rotterdam, New York. Most of all, I loved hanging out with you. You want me to go on? You want more dad jokes? Okay, next week, join us for another Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventures. I can't wait to see you next week. Glub 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 glub.
Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventures. Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventures. Mr. Twisty's Storytime Adventures. So much fun with Mr. Twisty.